This portion of the Max Level podcast is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Founded in 2009 as a tiny digital shop, they've grown year after year to become the fastest growing online game store. Their one goal is to bring the magic of video games and the wonder and joy they can bring into as many people's lives as possible. Interested in deep discounts on the latest and greatest games straight from the developers? Head down into the description of this video and click on the Green Man Gaming affiliate link. Doing this will help support Level Down Games and allow us to continue doing what we love, providing quality content on a daily basis. And remember, if you want to hear the Max Level podcast in its uncut entirety at 9 a.m. every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe on either iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. But as you mentioned, we'll go ahead and jump into discussion 2 here. We found out what the file size is going to be for Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar Intel noted that they recently announced a bundle for Red Dead Redemption 2. And Rockstar Intel is a website. And they noted that the back of the bundle shows that the hard drive space requirement, it's in tiny print, 105 gigabytes. The box also revealed that the multiplayer count will be up to 32 players, and that the as of yet mysterious PX4 exclusive content is only exclusive for 30 days. But the thing that stands out the most is obviously that file size requirement. Now, that was a PS4 Pro bundle, so that could have been the space requirement for the PS4 Pro, because that will include higher textures, to take full advantage of 4K, HDR, all that kind of stuff. If you're playing on a standard PS4 or a standard Xbox One, you may not need such high requirements, but PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, you may have a higher requirement. Either way, though, it does make sense. It's a massive game, but I wasn't expecting 105 gigabytes. I think that right there on console, I have seen that big on, I think Gears of War 4, when I downloaded that on PC, was like 100 gigabytes when I played that and reviewed it for Level Down Games. I think this might be the first time I've seen such a high file size for a brand new game on PS4 and Xbox One. 105 gigabytes. That's massive. For someone like yourself who has a standard PS4, and still, I think you still have the standard hard drive in there as well.
I actually have an external.
I know you have an external that you transfer things to. Yeah,
because I have to. Because I play a lot of games. I get a lot of digital. So
yeah, but the thing is, once you finish them, I think you transfer them to your external, right?
Yeah.
So you leave them on your hard drive when you're playing them, and then you finish them, you transfer them to the external. But I think now, and this was a while ago, but Sony did put that update where you can still play games that are on your external drive too, right? Like you can boot them up, like, because it used to be you couldn't, but they did make it to where you could boot the games on the external as well. Do you have space for this?
I don't. I'll throw things around.
Yeah.
But I have some older games on there that I just haven't removed. Like I have like older WWE 2K games, like 2K16 and 15, whatever that is.
That could probably get, and those are probably close to 100 gigs a piece, because with all the updates and downloads, what we've done, I mean,
and I'm never gonna play them again.
No, especially
19's coming out soon. So
yeah, 19 comes out next week. So if you pre-ordered it, early access comes out Friday, but yeah, next week it comes out. So. I don't know, man. I was just really, really surprised to see how big the file size was for Red Dead Redemption 2. But like I said, again, it makes sense. It's a massive freaking game, and it's going to be several times bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5. It's going to be. They've already confirmed it. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is much bigger than GTA 5. I'm scared now. Like, looking at this, based on what we just talked about with PS5, I'm scared how big the games are going to be for next generation. Like
500 gigabyte.
There has to be, and that will be a thing at some. I'm guaranteeing you that will be a thing at some point. I don't know if there's ever going to be a solution to somehow controlling that, because I don't think there's a way. Like, just obviously,
unless it has to go fully online and load some of the assets, like server side versus,
which is being tested, as we know about. Cloud streaming is being tested. It was announced during the most recent Nintendo Direct. This was not announced for North America. This was announced for Japan. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is coming out on the Nintendo Switch in Japan, but it's not coming out in a physical form. It's releasing on the Switch through a cloud streaming service. So that, and we've seen this before. There was something else that's coming out on the Switch that's cloud streaming.
Yeah, I remember Assassin's Creed was the one that stuck out.
Yeah, But Assassin's Creed Odyssey is releasing on the Switch in Japan, not here, in Japan through cloud streaming. So that way the game looks identical to the way that it does on the PS4 and Xbox One. And that's actually really cool. If that works out, that could be a game changer for the way these games play, not only, but how much space that they take up and how much is actually required on the user end. If they could do a lot of the computing in the cloud, that would be massive. But the only thing is, a lot of people that still play games don't have access to the internet connections required to do something like that.
That's the downside. Yeah,
So-
we definitely need Google Fiber to get into
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sucks that it's reliant on Google. I think that's such a shitty thing, because I think that internet companies worldwide, and specifically here in North America and in America, because we have one of the worst internet situations around, we need to have access to what is currently available in certain spots in the world. There are certain countries that, you know, they don't cap their internet. That's fiber based. You have gigabytes worth of connections and everyone is happy. Here, some people are struggling to get more than like 3 megabytes download. And my God, I mean, that's like, you know,
There's parts of the US still on dial-up.
I know. And that's freaking stupid to think about. Like, you know, in 2018 being on a 56K modem, like I couldn't even imagine trying to do I couldn't. There's no way I could do anything I could do that I do now on a 56K modem. Luckily, I think it's very, very small percentage of places in America that are still on dial-up. I think most places are off of dial-up now, but I know there are still a few subsects that are. I really do think that something needs to be done in terms of our internet, though, and soon. I mean, 5G is coming on mobile. 5G is coming. You know, a lot of we're on 4G right now. You know, I'm running 4G on my phone here, but universal 5G is coming, and I think that something needs to be done in terms of just internet in general before things start getting ridiculous on download sizes. I don't know, man. It's just seeing that story on Red Dead Redemption 2 really did scare me a little bit because of what we just talked about with the PS5 and knowing how close the generation actually is to getting here. Because the PS5, Xbox One, or Xbox Scarlet, they're going to have equivalents of equivalents of GPUs and stuff from probably like a year or two ago. So if we're lucky, they'll be on like the 1070, 1080 series. Obviously, we right now NVIDIA is significantly stepped up from that. But if we're lucky, the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet will, no, it won't be NVIDIA stuff, but it'll be AMD. But it'll be equivalent to what we saw with like a 1070, 1080. That's going to require, I mean, those games that take full advantage of that, especially with, we know how the compression works on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's not that good. These file sizes are going to be massive. So it's definitely going to be exciting and not even exciting, but it's going to be crazy to see what happens here in the future. Thanks for checking out a portion of the Max Level Podcast. If you enjoyed what you just watched, be sure to click that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. If you're interested in checking out the Max Level Podcast in its uncut entirety at 9 a.m. every Monday morning, be sure to subscribe on either iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. We'll see you next time.